ashamed. Davis gave me a college football lineup to play for Tuesday, Thursday slate, and so I was watching Arkansas State versus Louisiana Lafayette as opposed to the World Series.
That game had a sick run. That guy, did you see that run?
Yeah, he wasn't down because he fell on top of a guy.
I mean, I guess there wasn't a whistle. Like he stopped moving forward. Like they just didn't blow the whistle. You got to keep running. That was crazy.
You play to the whistle blows.
That's right.
That's what we always say.
That's our motto here.
That's our motto around here. You play to the whistle blows. Gindy?
Yeah.
Are you in a classroom right now?
No, I'm in my conference room.
Oh.
I don't know. In my office.
We could give him a geography contest behind him.
Yeah.
Or trivia. All right, point to Oregon.
There, I don't know.
Point to Oregon.
That's a pretty sweet map.
It's more. I mean, I totally just turned the wrong computer because the computer I'm using Skype for is on the top, and I just turned my computer that I'm using to browse, thinking that you guys would be able to see the maps behind me.
Oh, Mark, stop it!
That's such a Wendy move.
Oh gosh. So Nap, I want to basically have you start the show off by telling me how sick it was to sweat some haterade action this weekend.
It was probably, I mean, it was definitely his sickest week ever, and it was just came out of nowhere. Like we talked during the week about lineups and stuff, and then he only put like 3 teams in that Sunday Million out of 90,000, and just to beat a field that big by I think he beat second by 12 points is just, you can't do much better than that. Like, it was just, he just had the nut lineup. He said he put that one in the last minute, even more crazy. So it's just, if you play, he's one of the oldest school guys. He's played longer than me, and we met in the FanDuel chat. And if you play every day, take your shots, you're gonna hit one of these. And he took him about 4 years, but it's really cool that he finally hit his 6-figure score.
Yeah, for those that want to see it, it's still listed on our sweat scoreboard on our homepage too. If you didn't see, the team is it's ridiculous.
He hit every
just crazy. Yep.
Personally, I was rooting so hard for him, man, because Nat's the man.
Just the nut wide receiver combo. Golden Tate, Doug Baldwin, Sammy Watkins. That's where the money was made right there.
I think the only thing you could do better was lower Reed to like a cheap tight end. Reed only had 7, and then get Demarius in there, but still, I mean, man, awesome. Yeah, Watkins was just.
Yeah, it was basically the anti-Davis Maddock football weekend.
Tate, Baldwin, and Watkins, all short dudes.
And then Odell Beckham had 2 touchdowns. Emmanuel Sanders got a touchdown.
He could have had 3. He had 2 PIs, I think, in the end zone. Yeah, crazy.
Sanders, who, you talking about Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah, he had a touchdown.
He scored a touchdoall because the ref basically...
he tripped, or defender tripped.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Is Swaggy P really the picture of the Fantasy Insiders Twitter account?
It is.
Yep. Kitchen made that one last night.
Swaggy P.
Yeah, it's such a swaggy Twitter picture.
I should have waited for that to transition to NBA next week, but my bad, guys. My bad.
What do you mean?
I said I should have used that question to transition to NBA next week and catch everybody off guard.
It's okay. Well, so yeah. This reminds me of the call-in shows. Gindy is our call-in.
Why is Kyle Cannon always trying to get at me in this chat right now?
It does sound like you're a caller in a call-in show. I like it.
I'm just reading it. Kyle says it's Gindy caller number 9. It's like they have the Tony Barnhart show here in Nashville on Saturdays. Tony Barnhart is like Mr. College Football, does a lot of stuff with the SEC. But it's like they just basically pay him a bunch of money and have him available via phone. Because the show is aired here in Nashville, and he lives in Atlanta, so it's always him by phone. So this is like, you're our Tony Barnhart today, Gindy. At least you look good. You might not sound great, but at least you look good. And So yeah, with that, let's start talking about just kind of what's going on in the industry. We've got basically basketball going to start up next week, and this is like the beginning of a really, really crazy month. College, we just had soccer. You got hockey. You got golf. Is golf starting tomorrow? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Golf's been going on for a while.
Right, but the tournament starts tomorrow, though, right? Tomorrow morning?
I'm pretty sure it does.
I think
I think you're asking the wrong guys.
I mean, I think it's Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, golf usually starts every Thursday. I don't know if there's this. I didn't know.
November
there was a special
5th. It's
tournament.
showing me November 5th. Actually, it does start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's when golf starts each week, but there's no like special tournament that I know of starting this week.
So, anyways, golf, NHL,
Smizzle.
college football on Saturday, and then we have another big NFL weekend, and then Tuesday starts the beginning of, or is it Wednesday?
Monday.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday with a 3-game slate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wednesday,
Wednesday.
it's all going to break loose, and then you're
Nick
going.
Smizzle's taking shots at me now because my voice sounds like something that I can't hear.
It sounds awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. All right. No problem. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Is the guy Jewish in that song, Smiz? Because that'd be absolutely perfect.
Oh man! All right. So as far as like how crazy it's going to be for you guys, Ginny, I know you play pretty much everything.
I don't play golf.
Well, except for golf. Nap.
Golf is fun. Golf. Smith is in chat and Davis is in chat. Now they're gonna just blast me. But golf is more fun than soccer. I tried to play soccer yesterday. Oh my god! I wanted to kill myself.
The truth, playing soccer is so much fun because it's very quick and there's just a lot of action going on. And when your player does something, you get some sort of joy that you don't get in any other sport.
My argument, and this is for hockey too, so Canon's not going to agree with me here. He says he agrees with soccer. But any sport where you have to reward somebody for either committing a foul or drawing a foul to award fantasy points is not a fantasy-worthy sport. You're just making up categories to try to inflate the scoring. That's my take on it.
It's part of the game, though.
I mean,
Okay.
Why don't we get points for PI in football then? Or
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just grasping for things.
Wow, Nap, let's go. Let's call for that. Extra 1.5 points for drawing a pass interference.
I mean,
So then I can use Torrey Smith every week, and he could be my cover boy every week.
how about not even
You
for
would,
offense?
you would die for that.
Why doesn't defense should get like a negative 0.5 if they allow a longer than 20 PI or something? I don't know.
Yeah. Smith brings up a good point. It's basically, it sounds like it's a stat provider thing where Smith says there's other stats they should be using, but it's kind of a stat service issue. So they basically have to go with what the stat providers can provide them with, and I guess penalties are one of the things.
Guys, it's still fun though. So.
Nap, what is your least favorite sport to play?
For daily,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably just hockey, just because it's my least one I watch and follow. Yeah, like I tried golf, I tried soccer, hockey. I can't get into it. I don't know.
Yeah. I've never followed golf, and I actually found golf enjoyable, but I have pretty much zero desire for hockey or soccer. Like I tried soccer yesterday because I was a little bored, and the sweat wasn't fun for me. And my team actually did fairly well and had a bit of a sweat, but I just, whatever. Different strokes for different folks.
Classic Tuttle.
It's cool that there's crazy variety now, though. Like no one should be complaining about not having options.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
Every sport's out there.
and this kind of contributes. Like no one's saying that soccer is going to be like why daily fantasy grows like solely, but when you have all these different sports that you can play. Like someone can play like 4 different sports in a day. And it just adds to the overall value of daily fantasy sports and excitement level.
So basically, starting next week, things are going to get heavy.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Wednesday NBA, and then Thursday the NFL games, college football games, and Friday NBA. I think Thursday might be NHL too. I don't know. Maybe it's Tuesday. And then you've got Saturday college football, Sunday NFL, and then Monday will start back over with NBA. Like there's no real rest at all. Maybe Tuesdays are a rest day, kind of. But
Tuesdays, Thursdays are biggest NHL days. That's what Cannon says.
Does anyone know what a Minecraft filter is?
A what?
Is that the game Minecraft?
I don't know.
I've never played it before, but my brother-in-law, who's in high school, is all about that game.
Oh yeah, Minecraft.
I think we should give Davis his own soccer show with Ben and Paul one day. Just see what happens.
No, Davis would.
Davis would love it. Davis would love it.
He would just pretend like he knows what he's talking about, and then it would make Ben mad. It would be good. It'd be awesome because Davis would just try. Davis would just regurgitate what everyone else. Davis will talk to Smiz. Davis will talk to Cannon, to Draft Cheat, get their opinions, crowdsource their opinions into forming his semi-own opinion. Regurgitate that, and then tell Ben he's wrong.
You're going to tilt him so bad. I'll take up for him. The guy is a sponge. All he does is listen to soccer podcasts now. Just like he did for baseball. And, he knows... I don't know. Davis is a classic case of if you want to do the research, you can. And
no, it's smart. And you can be, a guy... this guy's extremely smart in his own right and knows his stuff as well. But a guy I would liken him to, and that he's very good with that sort of thing, is creating relationships and learning based off of other people. It would be CSU Ram. He's really good at gathering information from all the sources that are out there, including other players, and he takes that and obviously is very successful with it. So it's definitely a compliment.
Yeah.
And all right, guys, you want to start talking football or?
I guess.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Talk about any sort of injury news or notes going into Sunday that we need to kind of look at.
Just one that Knapp just named. Trent Richardson might not play on Sunday, which would make Ahmad Bradshaw a really, really good play. AJ Green, we're not sure yet. I know Sean Green limited in practice today. What do you guys got?
So Owen Daniels is out today, but he should play.
AJ Green says, just flashed up on my Twitter feed, that he's expected to play. I want to keep a close eye on the beat reporters out of New Orleans and see what the reports are on Jimmy Graham.
Especially with the Sunday night game.
Yeah, so he's going to be practicing, and he was limited practice today. But I want to kind of see beyond that what the reports are, if he's looking good, if he's going to be more heavily involved in the game plan. He was obviously more kind of the Megatron decoy last week. Another guy keep an eye out on, because his price is very nice on both DraftKings and FanDuel, and the matchup is good, would be Sean Green, if he's expected back, which I believe he is. He practiced today limited. So that's going to cut into Bishop Sankey's intrigue, if there is any there for you.
One more thing. Kiri Robinson and Pierre Thomas missed practice. Wow. Pierre's not going to play, right?
No, it's 2 to 3 weeks for him.
Cadet will be very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you think that game's going to be run heavy? I'd
bump up Breeze if that. I mean, I don't think it matters too much who they run out there at running back, because it's just going to be so pass focused anyways.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned in chat that I brought up things about Charles. I don't know if you guys saw that. Basically, yeah, he was basically he's an idiot, is what he is. And I was basically saying it was pure speculation, but I was basically saying I'd love that to come back and bite him in the ass because basically he was telling everybody he had got a concussion, but was trying to say he didn't get a concussion. He was basically listed off all the concussion symptoms there all are and said, "This is what happened after I got hit, but I didn't get a concussion." So then
how awesome would it be if? Oh, sorry.
Niall Davis, oh my gosh. And that's why I want it so bad, is because Niall Davis close to minimum price would just be amazing.
Yeah.
Also,
I was just gonna say, how awesome would that be, having Niall Davis minimum price?
Mm-hmm.
Bennett hamstring, if he's out, I mean, Talib, or not Talib, freaking Revis, all over Marshall. I mean, Alshon could be a huge bounce back week if Bennett's out.
Right.
Just keep an eye on
Are they gonna, would the Patriots send Revis to really follow Brandon Marshall across the field? I mean, Marshall plays in the slot a lot because they don't mind if he's on Alshon or Brandon Marshall, right? So
I mean,
either way, I think Marshall might be the better play only because he does line up in the slot a lot, and he'll probably see less Revis than Alshon, depending on what the Patriots do.
Okay. Is that all the
All right.
injuries? I think, or anyone check?
We'll get to them. We'll get to them as we talk about these games. Guys, want to start with the Thursday game? San Diego, Denver.
It's all you guys. I'm not. It's another week where I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not. See it, and this goes back to the theory. I've touched on it numerous times on the show, but basically, I'm only touching the game if I just think it's going to be a crap show. Like, because people are going to pile up on players in this game, no matter what. On Thursday night game, they want that immediate action. They want to be able to follow it closely. So I tend to only play it then if I'm not going to roster guys on Thursday night because I don't think it's going to be high scoring. This game is Denver versus San Diego, obviously going to be fairly high scoring. So I think I'm just going to avoid.
How about you, Nap?
Yeah, probably not doing too much Thursday action. I don't know. Chargers, I mean, it's probably going to be a close game. Rivers usually plays them very close. I'm just not really confident besides the quarterbacks and Demaryius. I mean, it's just there's both teams have so many weapons, not touching any defense. I don't know. I mean, I like Hillman maybe, but, I'm probably just not even going to play much Thursday just because this game's going to could be so just blow out all the rest of the Sunday games. I don't know. I just don't want to risk it.
Personally, I like to fade the Thursday night game also. So when I see Denver, San Diego, I know that I'm basically not going to play much. I'm just going to play to see ownership percentages in GPPs and take it from there. But if you guys were to play, because some people are going to use the guys in that game, who are your favorite plays?
Well, hold up. Speaking of the own percentage, rumor is that you won't be able to see him this week on FanDuel.
No way.
I actually was, when I was at FanDuel's office this week, it's the one thing I forgot to ask them.
Yeah, come on, man. That's the
But
rumor. I believe somebody pointed it out. And the thread that Nigel did on RG, apparently it was something that they were going to have done by week 4, and then they had the issues with the lagging issues with the population or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a developer. I don't know the technical terms. But basically, they had to push the resources, and they're planning on rolling it out this week.
The truth is, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it this week. I don't know. It's a slow process.
Yeah, I mean, we know all about that. But they keep on pushing it back. I would think that they would say something about it.
I did personally tell them that it's kind of, I don't know. It's just a weird thing that they made the Sunday Million over 115,000 entries, and they left first place at 500K. So then we should have just pushed it to $1 million. It'll be fun. Have 2 sites with millionaire makers every week.
I mean,
I don't want it, and I think I think
You don't
most
want it. I
people-
know we don't want it because we're going to waste more time putting lineups into that stuff. But just the fact that being able to have 2 millionaires every week is great.
I mean, people are voting with their money. Like, they have no problem filling up that contest each week, which is larger. I believe it's larger this week. I haven't looked exactly, but it has been larger in the past. They have no problem filling it up with less people multi-entering because the prize pool is more is flatter. Like, people don't want to see that drop off, especially guys that are actually grinding it out. People don't want to see that drop off from 1 million to, I don't even know what it is. What is DraftKings? Is it 1 million to 100?
Yeah, 1 million to 100.
Yeah.
And people don't want to see that.
That's like it's just a way for DraftKings to get in new players. I would like to see a flat structure. Someone mentioned it yesterday, like 1,000-man super booster. That'd be cool. Or
yeah, they had those for baseball.
They had 100-man though.
Like,
oh, they had 1,000.
They had huge ones where top 100 got $1,000 or something.
Yeah, they had those.
I'm saying we're the top 1,000. Like it's $1 million tournament.
Okay.
But it's a flat payout structure. That would be fun. We'd probably see lots of different trains in there, but it would still be fun, and someone could still be, still get like a single entry in and win like $1,000. Like in baseball, my buddy who like just started playing threw in a lineup the week before for the big baseball tournament. It didn't do anything. The next week was the flat payout structure, and he got second. So the week before he'd have gotten like 25,000. Instead, he got 1,000. But it was still, he paid for his family's vacation. So I think that those games are equally as important as in terms of, hey, you've got basically 1,000 shots at winning $1,000 if you throw in this $27 team. So that would just be kind of where I'm looking at it. But the good news is that the industry keeps growing so that they have flexibility to throw out more of these games.
Isn't it pretty interesting that Ray of Hope won $1 million this weekend, and he was on that whole thing with Brian Gumbel?
Yeah, he can move out of his mom's basement now.
Yeah. Hey. They can get a nice recap or update on that story and, send people in a craze.
Well, what, two guys that do this semi-professionally have 1 out of the 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Sammy Knoll and Sad Caps. So that's impressive.
Yeah, and Sammy Knoll is won a qualifier to the Bahamas last week.
Yeah.
Crazy back-to-back weeks, those two.
So, good stuff. All right, let's talk about the Sunday's football games. As far as the Sunday morning game goes, that's...
Hold on. Thursday, got to mention, Eddie Royal Revenge. Okay, Sunday.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, come on.
Awful play.
So long ago.
Throwing it out there.
But I feel like the Thursday night games it's like a double header because the only slate that these morning games are included in are the Thursday night games. So it's not just the first game. It's this London game as well. Otherwise, you're not really thinking about it at all.
No.
So if you're not playing Thursday games, you don't have to worry about it. The rest of the games, just chalky plays. Talking to Davis, he thinks that Aaron Rodgers is the guy this week. Your guys' thoughts on that?
Price is high. His price is up there now on FanDuel. Breeze at $900 less at home might be a little more interesting. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I have those two kind of pegged as the top two options. I think you want exposure to that game. It's one of the highest totals of the year, 56. The game's at a pick 'em right now, so you want absolutely as many players in that game as you can get. It helps that Broncos are playing on Thursday. Another relatively high scoring, and the Lions and Falcons isn't going to be included because that's in London. It is starting kickoffs way early on that game, so that's not included in the slate. So I think you definitely want one of those quarterbacks as your kind of cash game option. I'm not going to make an argument for, or I'm not going to make an argument against either. Go with what I guess you feel most comfortable with when it comes to constructing your lineup. I have no problem with either.
Is this the highest total of the year? It's like around 55 right now.
It's got to be.
I think it is. And let me check what 5 dimes. Last time I checked, I thought 5 dimes even had it at 56.
Wow. So
and a comment we
looking.
make. I was just gonna say a comment we make about that, or that I do too, is that this game's a pick'em. Like that high of a total, that's a pick'em. You want a shootout as opposed to a blowout when you're picking games. Like you don't want the threat of you having a quarterback that's not going to produce in the fourth quarter, which is what we got with Aaron Rodgers last week. That's not going to happen this week.
The second highest total
Dallas,
is no, I think New England. And New England versus Chicago and Dallas, Washington are pretty close. But you're just going to get a ton of exposure to this Green Bay Saints game that I don't know how you're going to play a quarterback in cash games that's not named Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees. So let's just get that out of the way. Who are your favorite GPP quarterbacks this week? Nap?
I'll go. Yeah. I think Russell Wilson's going to be kind of overlooked again, just based off Rodgers and Brees being so popular. He's third most expensive on DK. I think he's fourth or fifth on FanDuel. It's just another great matchup for him, and it's crazy. His last 2 road games have been his huge of his career of the season by far. He gets Carolina. It's like they just got shredded by Rodgers, and now they have to face a running quarterback. I just can't see Wilson not getting at least 20 with the 40-point upside like he had last week. So Wilson again, I mean, Rodgers and Brees, I can see him twice, 3 times as owned as him. So he's it's crazy to say it. He's a GPP play. I don't even mind him in cash games. He's such a high floor.
How many touchdowns does Wilson throw to Curse this week?
Curse? Oh my God, dude.
You're in love with him.
He is definitely everyone's gonna be on Baldwin after that last week. So yeah, I mean,
Wilson's not black enough though.
Oh my God.
Man.
Did you see it? Did you see those reports?
No.
That's supposedly some of the controversy coming out of Seattle now. So some of it started brewing with Percy Harvin, but then basically the locker room, supposedly reports are the locker room was starting to get divided, and basically it was one camp saying that Russell Wilson's not black enough.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Wow.
So I don't know. No, I like Wilson as a play. I just felt the need to throw in that Russell Wilson's not black enough.
So considering we're going to throw more than a few lineups into these tournaments this Sunday, like the Millionaire Maker, the FanDuel Million, how many lineups or what percentage of your lineups do you think you're going to go away from Brees and Rodgers in these tournaments? Because listen, this week a GPP strategy might be let's avoid this game. Hopefully becomes like an Eddie Lacy show, and then you can get exposure to other games that are going to be high scoring and hopefully win $1 million. So just want to hear like what you guys are, where you guys are leaning with this in your tournaments.
Total.
I am going a little lighter on the Millie Maker. I got a little family vacation I'm going to this weekend, so I won't be playing as much. I think the majority of my lineups will have Rodgers Brees exposure just because I'm not planning on playing a ton this weekend. Some other guys that I do like that I'll probably sprinkle in though. I liked both quarterbacks in the Eagles-Cardinals game. I like both Foles and Palmer, and both are ridiculously priced on DraftKings. $6,500 for Palmer and $6,300 for Nick Foles. So I think the majority of my exposure will still be Rodgers and Brees, but I'll definitely sprinkle in guys, and the top of that list would be Palmer and Foles. And you got to throw in. I'm sure the problem with this is how soft DraftKings salary is, but you got to throw in a Teddy Bridgewater, Cordarrelle Patterson team. Just got to do it. Or even a Teddy Bridgewater, Jerick McKinnon team. But if the problem is, if you do that, you're literally, I don't even know if you can spend the rest of your salary cap because those guys are so cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, that Minnesota-Tampa Bay game could get disgustingly high scoring. Like, there's just no defense.
Yeah. Jerick. All of the Jerick this week.
Love him. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun watching him this week.
Yeah, other quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean,
for
percent.
You don't like Romo? No Romo love this week?
Not really. They're just riding Murray so hard. Like, I don't know.
I'd rather have stack the box. How's it's going to stack the box again?
They could. I like Tannehill a lot, actually. I think his last 2 games have been really good. He's rushing for about 50 yards a game. He can have 2 rushing touchdowns, no problem, especially if they go up big and they want to rest Miller a little bit. I just think Tannehill's just an insanely high floor against Jacksonville. He's got Clay's healthy. Landry's getting a lot more targets. He's just got so many good weapons now with the good running game. So if you're not, Dolphins defense probably the highest owned, but if they kind of screw up and that 15% owned Dolphins D doesn't score 10, Tannehill's gonna have to throw a lot, stay in the game late. I don't think he'll be highly owned, 5-7% in the millionaire.
And they're, they are letting him run.
Yeah.
So that's a good plus. Any exposure to Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, with Ben Roethlisberger or Andrew Luck?
Martavius Bryant's kind of sneaky. He's kind of he should be,
man.
He should be equal to Wheaton on snaps. Like Wheaton's snaps percentage, someone just tweeted it went down like half last week. Like
Wheaton shouldn't be active.
They're just sick of him. Yeah, Bryant looks like he needs to be in there. Like he's definitely the deep shot guy now. We saw that. He got about 2 or 3 chances last week, caught a touchdown. So yeah, I mean, it's just hard to
Moncrief
take.
And Bryant.
Moncrief or what? Or Bryant?
Moncrief.
Definitely Bryant.
See, I'm all about Dante. I'm all about Dante Moncrief.
They just have so many random dudes. Like it could be Knicks, Fleener. Like I don't know.
But we know one thing. Ahmad Bradshaw will catch a touchdown. He's not gonna run. He's not guaranteed to run a touchdown. He's guaranteed to catch a touchdown.
Moncrief finally outsnapped Knicks. So my estimation is what's going to happen is you're going to see T.Y. Hilton move over to the slot. Moncrief's going to move into the right wide receiver role, and he'll match up a lot against Cortez Allen, who receives the second worst cover.
He got benched last week, Cortez Allen.
Did he end up getting benched?
I think he got benched. I don't know who took his spot.
He still played plenty of snaps last week.
Okay, so
he still played. He's played 43, so I guess he possibly got benched. But he still saw the majority of the team snaps as the left cornerback. So depending, I guess that's something to look out for. Keep an eye on if Cortez Allen is playing, but he rightfully so got benched. So keep an eye if he's actually going to play because he's got the second worst coverage grade according to Pro Football Focus. Moncrief actually, to my surprise, I went to playerprofiler.com. It's a pretty cool site to look at wide receivers measurables and kind of their comps, the best comps. Moncrief's a freaking beast. He's ridiculously athletic, and I definitely did not know that. I think his best comp that they gave him was Andre Johnson, which obviously is pretty good company to be within. So if he gets some snaps, especially if it's against Cortez Allen, I like him a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I'd hedge Moncrief and Bryant in that game. Like, make your best team. You got 3K. Just kind of one of those two. You're right. They'll be 1%, 2% owned. Like, if they get 15, they should get 5+ targets each. I like that.
Let's talk a little about running back position this week. We know DraftKings has very soft pricing. So on FanDuel, who are your favorite cash game running backs? Let's start with that. Napper, Tuttle, whoever wants to start.
Let me switch to FanDuel.
Jerick McKinnon.
Jerick.
I'm going to be all in on him.
Wow.
5,800. Like, we kind of already established that you want to go Rodgers or Breeze as your cash game lineup. regardless of who you go, you're probably going to want to fit Jordy Nelson in or Des Bryant. Kind of pick your choice on, or whoever you want to go as your high end wide receiver. So then you kind of have to save money somewhere. McKinnon at 5,800 that's a hard price to turn down. So he's my top.
How about you, Nap? Anyone?
I mean, I really like Bradshaw's and Vereen's price. Like Vereen under 7 for his usage without Ridley. Like it just skyrockets. Like, and that, I mean, it should be. I think Chicago's going to come out, after that pitiful last week. Like they should score some points, keep Vereen in the passing game. So Vereen under 7, him and McKinnon, like you can make a really nice team with those two. And then Bradshaw, I think, even with Richardson, I mean, he's probably not going to play, but if he does, like they've shown it's all Bradshaw, especially at the goal line. I think he's a phenomenal play for 7.
Yeah, I want a couple guys I want to bring up as guys, and you guys can add in on guys that I don't like. I want to stay away from this week because somebody mentioned Denard Robinson in chat. I don't want to touch him. It's not a good matchup. He's not going to see a game where he gets that many touches again. Like I don't see that happening anytime again in the near future. I think he got over 20 touches. Yeah. He was obviously very productive with them, but I just don't see him getting that many touches again in a good matchup, or in a tough matchup, I should say, against the Dolphins. So that's a guy that I'm avoiding. The other guy that I want to fade, or tandem duo that I want to fade, are Bills running backs. Guys are going to try to be sneaky and play Anthony Dixon or Bryce Brown. Just don't do it. It's not a good enough matchup where it's worth the risk.
Right. Yeah. One guy I want to ask you guys about, Darren McFadden against Cleveland. He looks much better,
He is.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I've been sprinkling him in tournaments, just waiting for that 25-point game, and he's had touchdowns called back all year. This is a great spot. Cleveland's, I think, bottom 3 against the run, yards per game. Should be a close, ugly game. So I love McFadden. He's getting 4 catches a game. He's just you gotta cover him if you're doing a lot of lineups and tournaments. He's gonna have that game.
Yeah, if he is like on FanDuel, I think he's going back to FanDuel. Like DraftKings, I don't see him. I'm not gonna probably be touching a whole lot of him just because Ben Tate's ridiculously priced there at 4,600, and I think McFadden's kind of right in that same price range. Yeah, McFadden's 4,700. You can get Ben Tate for 4,600, which I would much rather have. I'd even rather have Alfred Morris at 42. Yeah, McKinnon.
Yeah, but the thing with those guys, the difference with those guys is McFadden is going to catch passes. Alfred Morris and Ben Tate might not even catch one pass all game.
Yeah, you got that. It's just not a risk I want to take on DraftKings. Whereas comparably speaking, on FanDuel, there's not a whole lot in his price range that he has to compete with. So I'd see him, even though DraftKings is the full point reception site, just being dictated by pricing. I think McFadden's much more in play on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings.
Any Trey Mason for anybody this week?
I was just looking at what do you guys think about the Rams situation? Like, man, they got so many options.
Well, Zach Stacy's not an option apparently.
Stacy, no, not Stacy, but like
Mason and Cunningham, right?
They're putting what's his name? Tavon at running back sometimes. Like, just it could be anyone.
Well, Trey Mason's price is up there, so he's definitely not a safe option. He's not going to be that popular. So just tournament only. Hopefully he gets 18, 20 carries and just goes off against Kansas City this week. Yeah. But
Cunningham's he's getting all the passing down, so mix and match those two. Hope one gets 2 random touchdowns for that price. Sure.
Yeah. See that, and that's the concern with Mason. Like, I think the matchup's good. It's actually it's a good matchup if he gets the carries. The concern would be that they fall behind and it becomes a passing game in which Benny Cunningham would then steal all the snaps. So, like, I think that what Knapp said is really good. If you're going to get some exposure to Mason, then maybe put a team with Cunningham in too, because game script is totally going to dictate on who gets all the snaps in that game.
Also, a quick note, Lamar Miller surprisingly has a nice floor. So, especially, and now he plays Jacksonville this week. So, feel free to write him out in cash games on both websites, on DraftKings and FanDuel, just because he's their goal line back. They've been handing it off to him by the goal line. He's been scoring a touchdown in most games, and he's just safe, 50 yards, touchdown, and a couple catches.
We got a Jonathan Stewart question in chat.
Jonathan Stewart against Seattle.
In Seattle, I mean,
no.
Yeah,
tournament. It's just there's not much to say about him. He's bad, and they're probably gonna be behind.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean,
Cam Newton though on a bounce back. Cam Newton's going to be 1% owned this week.
Oh yeah, Newton and Olsen. I love that combo. Sherman kind of on Kelvin.
See, something's going on there in Seattle, and I know people have been hearing it all week. If they turn on the television or their radio, Seattle. They're just not. Their defense. There's something wrong. There's something wrong over there.
They just don't try on the road. They don't try. They don't play defense on the road. It's just weird.
Or special teams, apparently.
It's the locker room.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we covered our running backs.
Which high price guy?
Forte
or Murray, if you had to choose. Forte or Murray, if you had to pick one.
Forte for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd go Forte.
Yeah, he's worth like 2 running backs on especially in season long. It's crazy.
Forte is something else, man.
Insane. Yeah.
We got a Mark Ingram question too.
I don't play Mark Ingram in daily fantasy.
Yeah, it's just games.
I saved that name for seasonal guys asking me, should I drop Mark Ingram? Should I pick up Mark Ingram?
I mean, it's one of those Stewart I don't like at all. Ingram I can kind of see the case for it. The matchup is really, really good. I still expect him to completely lean on Drew Brees, but if Robinson and Pierre Thomas are up, why not?
He'll be the goal line guy. Cadet will be
something interesting though. Tampa Bay plays Minnesota. We know Minnesota's run defense is not that great. Would you ever touch Doug Martin?
No.
Are you gonna have any exposure to him?
I'm not gonna have enough teams where I'll have exposure to him. Maybe if I was running out 100 teams, I'd have a lineup or two with him, but no.
Do you guys have any? Do you think there's any Alabama narrative street Ingram versus Lacey?
No,
they're gonna go back and forth.
No. We'll save that for Lacey and Trent. Because
that's totally what's gonna happen though. Now that Knapp says it, we're gonna stack the passing game.
We have to ask Kyle Cannon if that's narrative street eligible.
It's in New Orleans too, so there's gonna be a lot of family for both of them. I don't know.
Kyle Cannon said nope.
It's a stretch. Yeah, Cannon's the CFO of Narrative Street. So yeah, nope.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, I think we got running backs pretty well.
Yeah, we did running backs. It's not that interesting this week though, but
it's just
can be if Jamal Charles doesn't play somehow.
DK's value, FanDuel's, I'd pay up unless you're using McKinnon.
Receivers, Jordy and Dez are obviously our favorite plays. Anybody else? Start out with cash games first, Dan.
I think those are my 2 high-end options for sure. Not a whole lot really jumping out as far as high-priced other than those 2. I mean, if you don't want to go Jordy, you can go Randall Cobb from the same game. I mean, Antonio Brown's about as safe as you can get, so obviously no problem going Antonio Brown. But other than that, on FanDuel, there's not a whole lot that's jumping out kind of in that higher-priced category. I don't know. Do you have anyone, Nat?
Yeah, it just kind of drops after Antonio. Cobb, or drops after Cobb, I'd say. Macklin, $8K, it's hard to pay for him. Hilton, without Wayne, he should get all the coverage, even though he's getting all the targets too. So I don't mind Hilton. But then between that, it's just Watkins is probably the next cash play I like. Marshall and Jeffrey is just, if you're not using color, it's just hard to predict which one's going to get the red zone looks. Wallace has been super safe, but 75, I don't know. I wish he was a little cheaper. I don't know. Floyd's
I'm
kind of a cheap guy.
I'm liking Michael Floyd on FanDuel.
Yeah,
against
65.
Philly.
Yeah, I think, and that's kind of where you start getting some intriguing options. I don't mind guys. I obviously don't mind Edelman at 71 or Andre Johnson at 7,000. Like those guys are pretty consistent producers and good cash game options because they are consistent.
What about VJax? You like him? He's got to be coming off rest. He should have.
I know Dan always loves VJax.
No, I don't always love him. I liked him a lot when Mike Evans was out because they had nowhere to throw the ball.
You know what? I actually think Vincent Jackson is a good play this week.
He's just super under the radar. Yeah.
He's been seeing the targets. He goes under the radar. He's in a good matchup. Mm-hmm. Lennon can really sling it to him, and he's probably a little healthier coming out of the bye. I know he had a wrist injury that worried me a few weeks ago, even though I played him and he performed thanks to Dan. Guys, Pierre Garçon's going to score a touchdown again this week. Just throwing it out there against Dallas.
I could see it.
Prime time.
Yeah.
7,300. I mean, I'd rather have Watkins. I mean,
I'm not saying to play him in FanDuel cash games. What I'm saying is his 5,200 on DraftKings.
Good spot.
Colt McCoy really is starting this week, right? He can't throw the ball like past 15 yards down the field. So
average is like 6, yeah.
Yeah, so let's just say Deshaun Jackson is not going to be Deshaun Jackson for fantasy purposes with Colt McCoy at quarterback. And let's just assume that a lot of screen passes or short routes to Garcon and Jordan Reed. And we know Garcon can rack up those cheap receptions on 3-yard routes that he's been doing his whole career. So just something to keep note of with Colt McCoy there. And that's how he scored his touchdown last week. I know I said I like Garcon last week. I kind of admit that I got lucky with that play because they benched Kirk Cousins. Colt McCoy came in, threw a short pass to Garcon.
And they somehow didn't
missed tackle, and before you know it, he's running downfield, and no one can tackle him.
So you brought up Jordan Reed. I mean, on FanDuel, is there a reason to play any other tight end with Jordan Reed at 5,200?
I mean, if Daniels gets them practicing and is 100%, I mean, Cincinnati is just the worst against tight end this year. Like, I think Daniels is just crazy safe for 8 targets.
I mean, Gronk is still a play for me.
72. I mean, it's just I mean, if you don't want to save $2K, I'd pay for Gronk definitely. Like Gronk or Olsen. I mean, Olsen's just been so much more consistent.
Olsen got so much garbage time against the Packers last week.
For GPPs, by the way, guys, GPPs, tight end. I know,
Yeah, Reed's your cash game option, or Owen Daniels if you want to go Naps route. But yeah, I think spending on tight end would definitely be the contrarian play on FanDuel if you're looking for GPPs.
I actually make that 4 guys now for GPPs on FanDuel. Jared Cook is not my favorite one though. Zach Ertz against Arizona. Travis Kelce and Jordan Cameron. The last 2 really disappointed people last week. So I'm just going to assume people are going to come off of them a little bit, and we know what they're capable of. They're red zone guys. They can actually catch the ball and run better than most tight ends can, and no one's going to be on them.
So the thing with, and someone he popped up when I was looking on DraftKings, especially Zach Ertz. Unfortunately, the thing with him is he hasn't even touched 50% of the snaps in their last 2 games, and Sean Siegel kind of talked about it in his write-up today on our site with his upside plays. He wrote him up still because the upside is obviously there. It's undeniable. But he's not getting the snaps, and a lot of that is due to kind of their blocking issues, where Selleck's been out snapping Ertz because he's a better blocker. So I personally want to see a little more out of more snaps from Ertz before I play him and anything more than maybe a Millie Maker lineup or 2. But he's got an undeniably good matchup.
You guys think like Jordan Cameron's cash game play on DK 3,700? Like, no, I mean after that last week, I could see him.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
people just kind of avoid him. Just they don't want to risk it again with that offense. But it's a great matchup. 3,700.
Would you take him over Travis Kelce at $100 more?
I mean,
I would take Cameron in that.
it's close. I mean, even Charles Clay, like Cannon mentioned, is in there. That under 4K, there's a great.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Dwayne Allen. I mean, with Wayne out,
Yeah.
it's just tough to pick one for a cash game. But I mean, I just think I have a feeling about Cameron. He's gonna just bounce back massively.
Yeah, I wrote up in my article today that under that 4,000 mark, I think Dwayne Allen probably is the safest option, especially if Wayne doesn't play, because he should see some increased looks. Like he's been consistent. He's probably that safest option under 4,000. But then I don't just do whatever you want after that, because there's a ton of great. I mean, Kelsey's a great option. Gresham's a decent option if AJ Green does not play, but it looks like he is. So that kind of scratches him out a little bit. But yeah, Jordan Cameron, Zach Ertz down in that. There's a ton of options.
If Luke Wilson's out again, Hellfit got 6 targets. I mean, 3,400. Why not?
Is Wilson actually priced less than? Yeah. So
Luke's minimum, yeah.
So would you want Wilson to play then? Because I mean, it's nothing with skill wise.
No, I don't know. I mean,
it can't be that Hellfit. It can't be that Hellfit's a better receiving option. It's just basically his production was basically just because of the position, and they were playing from behind.
And without Gates and Julius Thomas this week, tight end is a little tricky because those are really two of the safest guys so far this year to score touchdowns every week.
I'm probably just going Olsen. I mean, Seattle's 30th.
He's not even gonna be highly owned. He's like a GPP.
He never
guy.
is. Yeah. I mean, and he hasn't been under 13 like all year, and total red zone target. I love him. I mean,
you guys want to draft a team?
All right.
What's your defense? You just pretty much all in on Miami, or what's your kind of alternates?
Defense, there's a few sleepers that I like. I kind of like Cleveland and the Chiefs this week.
Chiefs, I think, are definitely.
I don't mind the Jets on FanDuel for minimum price.
Oh, I don't mind that either.
Yeah,
especially with the Bills winning a game like that last week.
Let's do
both these in that game are nice, and then Texans won't be high owned on DK is the most expensive. I like Texans a lot.
What about Dallas? Is Colt McCoy starting?
I mean, sure. I wouldn't trust him in a cash game, but primetime game at home, they could show up definitely.
Yeah. Let's do a DraftKings team.
All right, let's do it.
DK, all right. Yeah, I think are sneaky. Rams, they had 2 good games at home. You can't really draw much from that. I think when they go on the road and, probably not great weather, it's probably going to be windy, Davis could just blow up big time.
Yeah. All right, so should I go first? Or
yeah, go for it.
You don't want to change up the order this time?
We'll let David pick this time, too, if he's listening and wants in.
He doesn't want in.
He just gave the Nawe for those that can't see.
He's out. He doesn't want in anymore.
All right. It's all you, Gandy.
All right.
How did we do last week? What was our team?
I actually think I did take a snapshot of it.
We had... I remember who we had. We had...
Here, start picking and I'm pretty sure it's the team.
I know we had Garcon, right?
We did.
Yeah.
That was probably our only good play.
All right, let's start out with the Chiefs defense.
Chiefs, do you?
You go next. I'm loading this picture. Kaepernick killed us. Yeah, we hit Miller and Bell, Harson, Dez. Damn, my shorts killed us. Vernon killed us, and Seahawks killed us. All my picks. Sweet.
I'll take.
I gave us Dez and Garcon, right? But I gave Seahawks D, so they sucked.
Seahawks D was just nightmare.
All right, I'm going to go
Chiefs.
This is kind of random, but I'm going to go with somebody in that Saints game, and I'm going to go Brandon Cooks.
We're
Okay.
going off the board.
Got a
All
nice
right.
price.
Let's go. This is just going to be a crazy team. Let's go Vereen. No one's going to everyone's going to go. I think everyone's going to go Bell, and just there's so many running backs. He'll get overlooked.
Who'd you say?
Shane Vereen.
Dude, Nap, you can't do that, bro.
Why?
Why not?
I just said Vereen was out drinking this weekend with my friends in the city. I don't trust professional athletes partying on their off weekend in New York when they play in New England.
He's got a whole week to sober up, though.
All right, I'm just saying. I heard he was really shooting.
All right, so if Vereen has a bad week, we know it's because he was out partying with Gindy's friends.
A week ago.
Telling you, bro. Telling you.
I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch this system closely and see how it pans out.
All right,
Okay.
Vereen, Cooks, and Chiefs. Jesus. All right.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
Can I do it? Or does Dan want this one?
Wait, no, you take
Your turn. We're not
Jerry.
doing Snake.
McKinnon.
McKinnon. All right.
Let's see.
Ooh, I get to go. I'm gonna go with Breeze because I think he'll be the lower owned of the two, obviously.
And the cheaper.
Yep.
Just for Cannon, let's go Charles Lay.
Charles Clay?
Yep.
Not a bad play at all.
Man, we're gonna have trouble spending now.
We got 60. No.
We got $6,600.
Dude, seriously, like outside of
Now we can get studs.
it gets hard to spend.
Okay,
Mr.
so
Windy?
I'll go Jordy Nelson.
Jordy.
And I think we could still get another high-end receiver or running back here.
I'm gonna go ahead with Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he's in for a bounce back.
Yeah, good matchup. I think he'll be fairly low owned.
All right, we get Knapp with $4,900 and a wide receiver. And we have a guy right there, $4,900.
I know you want Floyd. I'm just trying to think of anything else.
That's a pretty good
Man.
range. Feel free to put some money or keep some money on the table too.
I like Edelman, but we already got Vereen. It's just, yeah, I think let's go Floyd. I don't mind spending it all.
So if we didn't have Vereen, would you go Edelman over Floyd?
Probably not.
Julian Edelman hasn't really been a thing anymore.
He's been fairly consistent. I think he had one. Last week was a bad week.
No, his last few weeks have been bad.
Yeah, they've been using LaFell a lot.
He had
more.
9 for 91 against Buffalo. Okay, but then
He's had one
3
good
out of his
game
last
last
4 have been
week.
single.
Yeah.
3 out of his last 4 have been single digits on DraftKings.
And that was the rise of Gronk.
Yeah, but by the way, this team is not that bad.
All right, there it is. That's a winning team right there.
Let's say it's not going to be $1 million because we keep jinxing ourselves saying it's going to win.
Oh, I do have to put that in the million.
This is going to get last.
Oh, yeah, probably. Oh, well.
Cook. We need Cooks. I like everyone else. Cooks is definitely the risky one.
Oh, Cooks is the risky one when we have... Look at that team.
Is there any narrative street with Cooks?
What else is risky?
First Sunday night game in New Orleans, like first primetime game at home in New Orleans.
There you go. Narrative Street.
Sure.
All right. I know Kyle kind of won't accept that, but
Everything is Narrative Street. Everything.
yeah.
Yep. All right, there we go. We're ready for you to take us away, Dave.
We're good.
Get your sexiness back on. You guys should see Dave right now. Like he's
Looks like ET.
He
I
really
look like
does.
ET.
I love it. Yeah.
Thanks.
The perfect gray hoodie tight around your face. That's it.
Yeah, like really, really tight. That's the best
Oh wow,
part
guys,
about it.
this is our last show. Not talking NBA. Just gonna throw it out there.
Gosh, I have to start talking NBA
Yep.
next week.
Oh man.
You want me to? I'll just talk about NBA myself if
Yeah.
you guys want.
Yeah, we're just gonna have the Mark Indy show.
I love NBA, man.
Gosh, that hood is so tight.
It's because of the earphones. Like, look.
No, that's still really tight
That's
for
true.
it.
That's true. That's true.
I guess a little bit.
Just say ET phone home. Just one time. Just do it.
E.T. phone home.
And you're on a headset. It's perfect.
That will do it for the Fantasy Insiders Daily Fantasy Players Show, sponsored by Fantasy Elite, the app that you get in the App Store. Go to fantasyelite.com. Check out their new web interface that they have. Thanks to Mr. Total 05, Napsterman, and Gindy989 for joining us on today's show. Tune in tomorrow. We see it, Nap. We see it. Tune in tomorrow for the Thursday show with guessing Michael Leone and Davis Maddock and JJ Zachreason, a.k.a. Number Fire, or a.k.a. Late Round QB.
He is Number Fire.
He is.
A lot of Jared Cook talk tomorrow.
So, yeah. Thanks to our host, Dan Gasper and Napsterman, and thank you to our call-in guest, Mark Gindy 989. We will see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Wait, don't forget to read Ben's college football articles.
That's right. Read his article. Read